What's up, my dudes? Welcome to your first math video. Alright, so if you look over here in the corner, there will be a number there. It says 1.2. That means we're doing chapter 1, section 2. So we're going to skip 1.1 because I think it's just about like the distributive property or something. And because this is an honors video, I don't think we need to do that. We're going to skip right into solving multi-step equations. So if you look down here in this CCSS, what does CCSS stand for, you might be asking? Well, I'll have you know that CCSS stands for Common Core State Standard. Okay, and it is ACED1, which says create equations and inequalities in one variable and use them to solve problems. All right, so let's get to it, shall we? All right, problem 1 says, what is the solution of this equation? 5 equals 5m minus 23 plus 2m. Alrighty, so first we're going to draw the squiggly line down, like so. Okay, and I'm going to look at the left side. There's just a 5. Nothing I can combine there. Second, I'm going to try to combine some like terms over here on the right side. Notice that the 5m and the 2m are like terms because they both have m's on them. So I can combine those. Notice this is a positive. This is also a positive. So 5m plus 2m is going to give me a total of 7m's on that side. So 7m, still have this minus 23 hanging out. Okay, now I can start solving it by isolating my variable m. Here's m. So I want to get rid of the thing that's furthest away from the variable right now. So and since 7m is grouped together as one term, I need to get rid of the minus 23 first. So I'm going to do that by doing the inverse operation and adding 23 to both sides, like so. Bada bing, 23 plus 5 is 28. 28 equals 7m, because those canceled, so they're gone. And in the last step, this is 7 times m. So we're going to solve that by dividing by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4. 4 equals m. Okay. So first you're going to combine like terms, then you're going to isolate your variable. Okay. That's all we had to do in that one. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys try these two problems on your own, see if you can figure them out, and I will do them as well, and then we will reconvene and compare. You can compare to mine. Okay, so go ahead and pause this video in 3, 2, 1, pause. Alright, so I went and solved these. For A, I combined the 11m and the negative 6m to get 5m, and then I solved from there. That one goes this way. And then for B, I combined the negative 2y and the plus 5y, and that one went this way. So look at my work, make sure it makes sense. If you did not get 6 for m and 3 for y, then you should probably look over my work and see if it matches yours or not, and what is different. Compare and contrast. Okay, on to problem 2. Okay, so we have Martha taking her niece and nephew to a concert. She buys t-shirts and bumper stickers for them. The bumper stickers cost $1 each. Martha's niece wants 1 shirt and 4 bumper stickers. Her nephew wants 2 shirts but no bumper stickers. If Martha's total is $67, what is the cost of 1 shirt? Okay, so we know right here that bumper stickers cost $1. We need 1 shirt, 4 bumper stickers for the niece, 2 shirts for the nephew. Total spent is $67. We want to know the cost of 1 shirt, so that tells us what our variable should be. Okay, so let's write and solve an equation. So I'll start with the total. Okay, so I know I'm spending $67, so that's going to be over here. So 67 equals, I know that I need 1 shirt for the niece, and that's going to be my variable because I don't know what that is, plus 4 bumper stickers, which are each $1, so that's going to be $4, plus 2 shirts for the nephew. Okay, and then I can solve this equation. So first I can combine my like terms, which is going to be 1x and 2x. So that gives me 67 equals 3x plus 4. I can solve this. Minus 4, minus 4. Cancel. So I get 3x equals 64. That's not right. 63. I lied to you. And then we divide by 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. 63 divided by 3. It's going to be 21. So that's telling us the shirts are going to cost $21. Okay, I'm going to let you guys do this one. Go ahead and pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. Alright, so I did it. So I got x equals $14. So hopefully that's what you got as well. If not, check over my work. See if you can follow. Alright, next. Okay, solving an equation using the distributive property. So if you remember correctly, the distributive property says that we're going to take what's outside the parentheses, this negative 8, and distribute it to everything inside the parentheses. So to the 2 and to the minus 1. So negative 8 times 2x gives us negative 16x. Okay, we're multiplying it into there. Negative 8 times negative 1, I'm going to treat that as a negative 1 just to simplify things a little bit, is positive 8, so that becomes plus 8 equals 36. Okay, then I can do the little squiggly, subtract 8 here because it's the farthest away. Cancel, I get negative 16x equals, that's like 28, I think. Divide by negative 16. Those cancel, and I'm left with x equals negative 28/16, which is not simplified because they're both even. So we can divide both of them in half and get 14/8, which is still negative and still divisible by 2. So divide by 2 again, and negative 7/4. And that is a simplified fraction. Again, I don't really want to write it as a mixed number because it just makes things look messy. So we'll leave it as negative 7/4 for now. And you can always plug it back in and check your answer too. Okay, next. Okay, you guys go ahead. Actually, I'm going to show you a different way to do this one. So we'll do it together. So with this one, you can also, you could distribute the 3 like we did last time, or I noticed that 18 and 3 goes into 18, so I could also just divide this side by 3, because this is 3 multiplied by all that parentheses. So I want to get rid of the 3 first. I need to do that by either distributing or dividing it out. So I can divide this side by 3 as well. Forgot my squiggly. Okay, so then 18 divided by 3 gives me 6. These 3's would cancel, and I'd be left with 2x minus 6 here. Then I would add 6 across. That gives me 12 equals, let's cancel. I don't know why it does these weird lines. But 12 equals 2x divided by 2. You get 6 equals x. Okay, you should get the same thing if you distribute that 3 through and then solve it. Okay, so 2 different ways to do that problem. Alright. Okay, this is fun. Okay, so the problems that have fractions, there's 2 ways we can do it. First way is to get a common denominator, so we'll do that as method 1. So if you look at 4 and 3, both of those numbers are going to go into the least common multiple, which is just going to be 12, because 4 times 3 is 12. So I want to make those both denominators 12. So I need to multiply this one right here by 3, which means I need to multiply the top by 3 as well. The 3 I need to multiply by 4 to get 12, so I multiply the top up here by 4 as well. Okay, so 3 times 3x is 9x over 12, that's 3 times 4, minus 4 times x is 4x over 12, still equals 10. Okay, so now that I have the same denominator, I can combine the numerators. So 9x minus 4x gives me 5x over 12 equals 10. So I just combine these 2 fractions. Okay, and then remember, to get rid of a fraction, I can just multiply by its reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply this by 12 over 5. And that will get rid of both numbers at the same time. How convenient. Voila, bada bing, bada boom. X is by itself. And then this 10 and the 5 will cross cancel, so that becomes 2 and 1. So 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, you can also do this by clearing the fractions, which is kind of fun. So we already found the least common denominator, or least common multiple, least common denominator, same thing. Least common denominator is 12. So what I can do is I can multiply everything in here by 12. So I can do this times 12. So 12, we'll just write it. 12 times 3/4 x minus 12 times x over 3 equals, and I got to multiply this side by 12 as well. So 12 times 10. Okay, now if you look at this, the 12 and the 4 are going to cross cancel and make 3, because 4 goes into 12 3 times. The 12 and the 3 are going to make 4, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So then we just multiply across, so we get 9x minus 4x equals 12 times 10, which is 120. 9x minus 4x, combine those, we get 5x equals 120. And then we divide by 5 last but not least. 120 divided by 5 is hopefully 24. And it is. Okay, so we get x equals 24. Oops. So either way, so you can get the common denominator and solve, or you can clear out the fractions by multiplying by the common denominator. Okay. Alright, so I want you to do both of these problems. I want you to do one of them using the common denominators, and then I want you to clear the fractions on the other one. So go ahead and pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. Alright, so these ones didn't really turn out to be such nice numbers. But on A, I did the common denominator method and then added. So I got the common denominator of 20. So 8b over 20 plus 15b over 20 equals 3. Combine like terms and solve that out, and I got 60 over 23 for B. On B, I cleared the fractions by multiplying by the common denominator, which was 18, and I ended up getting m equals 13/6. So if you didn't get that, check my work. If you're like, yeah, you messed this up, let me know. I'll give you a couple brownie points if you find an error. Okay, all right, next one. We're working with decimals. Okay, so with this one, you could work with decimals, that's fine, or, so let's solve it just like we regularly would. So I'm going to place my line down the middle here. Let's ignore all these words right here. I'm going to subtract 3.5. Subtract 3.5. I'm going to skip down here. So let's cancel. So I get negative 0.02x equals 1.24 minus 3.5. Negative 2.26. And then I divide by negative 0.02. And I get 113 for x. Okay, that's one way to do it. Also, if you don't want to work with decimals because maybe you like to figure things out in your head, and decimals are kind of hard to think about in your head, you can clear out the decimals by multiplying by either 10, 100, whatever the biggest decimal place is. So here that's the tens place. This one's at the hundreds place because there's 2 decimal places, so 2 zeros. And that one's at the hundreds place as well. So we'd have to multiply this by 100 in order to clear out those decimals. So we can times this by 100, times this one by 100, and times this one by 100. And when you multiply by 100, it just moves your decimal 2 places to the right. So 1, 2. So that becomes 350, 1, 2. Is that minus? I think it's minus 2x. Move this one right, 1, 2 equals 124. Then we can solve that the same way. So it's essentially the same thing, minus 350. Okay, that gives us negative 2x equals negative 226. Divide by 2, negative 2, divide by negative 2. And we get the same thing, which is that. Okay, so if you want to clear out the decimals, just multiply by the highest decimal place. Okay, so I'm going to let you try this one, and then we'll come back and go over it. Okay, pause this in 3, 2, 1, pause. Alright, so for this one to clear out the decimals, I multiplied by 1,000, since that middle term right here, the 2.325, has 3 decimal places. So multiplied everything by 1,000, got this, and solved that, and it came out to be x equals 12.55. So hopefully that's what you got. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows. Okay, that's all I have for today. So thanks for watching. Make sure you take the Canvas quiz after you're done watching this and do it before next class. That way you get full credit for it. Okay, I will see you guys all next time. Adios, amigos.